Welcome to South Asia. This is South Asia in Maps. This is J. Reddy, the facilitator for your educational channel that brings the knowledge about South Asia in maps, icons, pictures and images. We take an integral approach of all these things and look at the events in pictographic form. We will continue our exploration of the Indian National Congress, used to be a predominant political party of India, its decline, and who are the modern day Ali Gauhar or Ali Gauhars, and who is Nazaf Khan, and whom the Congress will find Nazaf Khans in its Ali Gauhars. So this is a very interesting thing. So we have a Ali Gauhar here and Nazaf Khan here, and future or potential Nazaf Khans here. And this is essentially exploring the historicity and joining the current political Rajaniti. Current politicals or political scenarios or Rajaniti is nothing but extension of history. And so if you have a broader understanding of the history, how it moved, what are the various, how the various people played a prominent role in molding it, and you can fairly predict how the events are going to turn out. What will be the denouement outcome? Take for example, people like Voice of India scholars, think tank Mahayogi Ram Swarup ji, Sitaram Goel ji, Acharya Sitaram Goel ji, and Professor Dr. Coinrod Elst, who study, and from their works, if you read, you get a very clear understanding how partition of India occurred, the birth of Muhammad, the dawning of the, or claiming of the revelations came, Hijra from Medina in Hejaz to Mecca, Hejaz to Medina, then Battle of Badr, Battle of Kandak, Rashidan Caliphs, they're attacking the western part of Hindu-Buddhist civilizations, then Umayyad Caliphs, then Abbasid Caliphs, then eventually various Persian Turkish dynasties like Sassanids and Safavids and Samanids, not Sassanids, who are the Persian dynasty actually, fell to Islam, and then Ghurids and Ghaznavis and Tughlaqs of Delhi and slave dynasty and Mughals, and finally the Iqbal's declaration of homeland for converted Muslims in South Asia, and finally Lahore Declaration and Pakistan surrender of the Congress to Muslim League demand. All these things didn't happen overnight. There is a tremendous amount of history, ideological backing to that. If you understand from Badr to Allahabad, the declaration of poet Muhammad Iqbal, then Jinnah's declaration at Lahore in 1940, you will get a big picture. That's the picture I am going to give you today about decline of the Congress party, telling how the Mughal Empire declined and how it tried to survive, or temporary there was certain glow, and those scenarios. Depleted political power. Alamgir was the Mughal emperor, a nominal Mughal emperor, after the death of Aurangzeb died in 1707 in Ahmednagar, and Alamgir was assassinated around about 1760 by, and his son was a fugitive. He is called Ali Gauhar. Here see Ali Gauhar here, who later declared as emperor, a nominal emperor called Shah Alam II. Shah Alam II is Ali Gauhar. Ali Gauhar is his original name when he was young, and he was running away from Delhi to Rohilak, and here then going to Awadh Nawabs, then Mir Qasim was a Patna Nawab, then Bengal Nawabs, and finally met his Waterloo at Battle of Buxar. That means it is like wanderings of Ali Gauhar, future Shah Alam II. Sultanate Shah Alam is generally from Az Delhi to Palam, a Delhi city, and Delhi as a suburb in southern part, Palam airport. That means people jocularly used to say the empire, Sultanate, Badashahi of Shah Alam II, and he is from Delhi Red Fort to Palam. That is Sultanate e Shah Alam as Delhi to Palam. Imadul Mulk was the grand son of Asabza, the founder of Hyderabad princely state, Asaf Jahi dynasty or Nizam's dynasty, who ruled Hyderabad in Deccan from 1724 to 1948 plus 13 months. And he assassinated his father Alamgir II and temporarily put one more Mughal princeling called Shah Jahan. And Ali Gauhar, his young son round about 20 or so, fled Delhi and went to Rohilakand. In the Rohilakand, there are a lot of Rohila Sardars. Rohila means a person coming from Ro. Ro is the Pashto word for mountains. These are mountainous territories. Bordering Pakistan, Punjab, Pakhtunkhwa and federally administered territories and Afghania. And lot of Rohilas conquered these areas and occupied Katehar region. Important Nawabs, rulers were Nazaf Khan and Rohila Sardars, Bangash Nawabs, Muhammad Khan Bangash, and so on. In addition to that, there was a Nawabi, Awadh Nawab at Faizabad on river Sarayu or Gagra. Later they moved the capital to the Gomti Plains in Lucknow, the Awadh Nawab, Sujawuddawla. Then Mir Qasim was the Nawab put by British East India Company after they took away and Mir Jafar and more pliable Mir Qasim. He was ruling from Patna. So the Mughal prince Ali Gauhar fled from there, Rohilakand, Awadh and Patna. All these places they used to welcome the prince Ali Gauhar and addressed him Alampana, Jahanpana, Allah Hadras, Jille Shubani, very high sounding pretentious titles. But the prince has no money, the prince has no army, prince has no political experience, military experience. That is what is important to gain a realm, territory and domain. He doesn't have it. But because he has the title and he is proclaimed as emperor or pretended to throne, everybody tried to use him for their own political purpose. Finally, Sujawuddawla, one of the victors of Third Battle of Panipat, has a very good idea. He has eyes on vast Bengali Nawabiyat, the territory starting from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar border. There is a river called Karmanasha river that's demarcated, separates Bhojpur regions. Western side is today's Uttar Pradesh and eastern side is Bihar. And he wanted to get hold of Bengal, so he caught hold of the Jille Shubhani, the shadow of the earth, shadow of Allah on the earth, Shah Alam II or Ali Gauhar, and all of them combined together because the British already had Bengal under their control. Like 1757, they won the Battle of Palasi. And this happened around about 1764. That means 3 years after Panipat or 7 years after Battle of Palasi. All of them met and arranged an alliance, that is the Rohilas and Nawabs of Oudh, the Nawab of Bengal and Nawab of Bihar, Mir Qasim, and they put this pretender to the throne, Ali Gauhar, as a nominal head, and all of them met at Buxar. Buxar is a town. If you travel from along the Ganga river at that time, there was no roads or railways. You will get like Sahebganj, Rajmahal and Mangya, Bhagalpur, Pataliputra and Arrah. Then you get Buxar. Buxar is southern side of the river Ganga. The northern side is Ghazipur, Balia and Varanasi, and the western side, eastern side is Sasram, Rohtas and all those towns and regions. At Buxar, the British Army under Hector Munro gave a befitting defeat to all these allies, and they made a treaty called Treaty of Allahabad, on which the nominal pretender to the throne Ali Gauhar future Shah Alam II, was recognized as an emperor. Everybody recognized it, even though they didn't give anything. And emperor gave the territory to the British Diwani, which he didn't had it. Everything is extremely interesting how the politics and lingo, these things work. And British themselves give Allahabad and Kara. These are like districts in the Doab. Allahabad is Prayag, is a city where Ganga meets Yamuna. And the Doab region is like Allahabad, Fatehgarh, Kanpur, and Farrukhabad, and so on. These are the Doab regions, Etawah and Upper Doab, Lower Doab. They give Allahabad and Kara, which are supposed to be Mughal emperor's territories. Very interesting. Treaty of Allahabad declined. And finally, they are supposed to escort him to Delhi and put him in the throne. They didn't do it. And they were just coming and greeting them and giving all the social formalities. Finally, Ali Gauhar decided to change his master from British East India Company Bahadur to Marathas. At that time, Maharaja Shindya was a very prominent leader, and he has a very good army and controlled the northern regions south of Chambal. His headquarters was Gwalior. It has also defeated Maratha Rajputs of Mewar, Marwar, and those regions. His settlers, Delhi, western, the upper Doab was under his control. So he brought him and put him in the throne in 1772. That means now he became a protectorate of Sindhia. So this is what it means in the declining years of Mughal Empire after they lost real political control over the territory, and he was depending on so many people, the Rohelas, Sujauddaulah, Nawabs of Bengal. That's what here we are talking about. The decline of Mughal Badashahi political power is same as decline of the Indic, Islamic and Italic Congress today. And when he was put in the throne of Delhi by Maharaja Shindya, and Shah Alam Shani II selected an immigrant again from Persia called Nazaf Khan, who was also in the payroll of Awadh Nawabs and Rohillas and many times. For the 10 years from 1772 to 82, Najaf Khan, here you can see Nazaf Khan, he is an immigrant. He was the commander-in-chief of Mughal armed forces from 1772 to 81, Nazaf Khan Mirza. And he maintained the small realm, very small region, but protected against the Jats from the south and Sikhs from the north, and Rajputs and Marathas. That's what the glow. The glow means temporarily he sustained a small territory. So that's what we are talking about. So as our Ali Gauhars of modern Congress party, you know who are these Ali Gauhars? The siblings. The Rahul Miyano Gandhi and Priyanka Miyano Vadra, the pretenders to Congress throne, we can say, not pretenders to the prime ministership at all, they're pretenders to Congress heritage or Congress throne. Modern day Ali Gauhars are siblings, we can say. They're now depending upon the same, so many people who will try to ally with them and bring them back in Indraprastha as rulers having some political power. Whether Yadavs will do it, or Lallus will do it, Mulayams will do it, Sarad Rao Pawar from Deccan will do it, or Mayas from Gangetic Plains will do it, or Mamatas from Bengal Plains. And they are trying various permutations and combinations, various things. That means the modern day siblings, Ali Gauhars, pretenders through the Congress throne, and behaving the same way that real Ali Gauhar from 1760 to 1806, nearly 40-60 years as a nominal Mughal ruler, just only a title, nothing else. He is realm, never moved from Red Fort to the Palam, like a few kilometers radius only. So if you look at this historically, how the history moved, exactly you will see the synchrony, you will see the similarity, and you can also see how the things, the denouements will come. In case the modern Ali Gauhar's siblings, pretenders to the Congress throne, accidentally successful, the glow will be very temporary only, like the glow that Nazaf Khan, as a commander-in-chief of Shah Alam II, brought briefly for nearly a decade, because inherently the domain has no political power. If the domain, the realm, the land, the state has no political, military, economic power, it cannot be a very formidable state recognized by your potential contenders. So that is about the wanderings of Ali Gauhar, future Shah Alam II Shani, Mughal emperor. So today we discussed about the Congress party decline in the Indo-Gangetic plains, compared the Mughal princeling Ali Gauhar with the Congress princelings today, and Nazaf Khans with the current satraps or local leaders trying to take control or influence the Congress. We talked about the depleted political power during the Mughal declining stage after the death of Aurangzeb in Ahmednagar, Balghat region in modern Desh territory of Maharashtra in 1707. And his successor Alamgir II in 1760, a few months before Battle of Panipat III, assassinated by his chief minister Imadul Mulk, Diwan, Wazir or Prime Minister, who was the grandson of Asaf Zawan, the founder of Hyderabad state in Deccan. And his wanderings from his Doli after his father was assassinated, feared for his life, and wandering round about in the territories of the Doab and Rohila Khand, and seeking the help of Rohila Nawabs, Ahmad Khan Bangash, Nazib Khan, Nazibuddaulah, and Suzauddaulah, the ruler of Awadh, and Mir Kashim, Bengal Nawab, and finally met Britishers challenged the British rising power at Buxar in 1764, and got defeated and became a protectorate of the British East India Company, and they didn't help him much, and to put him back to Delhi nominally. Then after 10 years or so, 7-8 years, he became the client, gone under the influence of Marathas and Maharaja Scindia, and became his client, and in 1772 he was put on the throne at Delhi. Then he appointed an immigrant, Mirza Nazaf Khan, as his commander-in-chief, and is a capable military general, gave some stability to the declining small territory around Delhi from the Jats and Marathas and Rajputs and Sikhs and Gurkhas and so on. So today the declining Indic Islamic Italiano Congress is in the same situation. Its siblings are its pretenders to the throne, we call them modern day Ali Gauhars, are trying to do the same thing, wandering in Delhi, allying with this party or that party, changing this party, that party, trying a better deal so that they can be put back in throne as some sort of political power. Whether the Yadavs or Lallus or Mulayams or Sharad Raos, Mayas, Mamtas, these people will play the role of Najaf Khan, or all of them will play the role of the Najaf Khan. How the future political events will be denoued in the coming years, you can observe and see. This video is made in 2021 October middle, and you can keep that the date and keep looking for the things. So that's what I wanted to talk about, the modern day declining Congress party with Ali Gauhar's siblings or princelings, pretenders to the Congress throne, trying to do and finding a Najaf Khan of modern day satraps in the Indo-Gangetic plains and Deccan. Thank you very much for listening, and this is J. Reddy, your host in South Asia educational channel, bringing the knowledge of history, geography, culture, and heritage in the form of icons. The region south of Karakoram Mountains, north of Kanyakumari. And see you later, and your encouragement and comments, criticisms, compliments are always welcome, and will be looked eagerly for that. Thank you very much.